The sun enters the sign of Sagittarius on November 22nd. So Sagittarius season is here, but will it live up to its bubbly reputation? What's up, everyone? We're back with another round of astrology shots to get us through Sagittarius season 2023. And I've got some good news and I've got some not so great news about Sagittarius season 2023. The good news is that Sagittarius energy is a mutable energy. So it's going to bring the winds of change with it. So it's going to take us out of some of the intensity and the complexity of Scorpio season. However, the levity that we usually get with Sagittarius season feels a little downtrodden right about now. And unless you're living with your head in the sand, then you know that there's a lot of chaos going on in the world right now. There's a lot of heaviness going on. And we are definitely feeling it here on Earth, and it is reflected here in the heavens as well. So the vibe of Sagittarius season 2023, unfortunately, does not have as much levity in it as we would typically expect to experience with this astrological season, because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is a planet that expands and creates possibilities. It's also a planet of hope. And this is very important for us right now, as many of us are kind of on the edges of our seats and heartbroken over so many of the tragedies that are going on in the world at this time. So may Sagittarius season help kind of instill that sense of hope that we hold. And that's going to be something that I think characterizes this season more than anything else of the Sagittarian attributes is hope. And will there be something to be optimistic about? Is there some way to find some sort of silver lining through it all? I mean, Sagittarius is the sign that comes after Scorpio. And my astrology, well, some of my first astrology teachers described this transition as, the celebration of life after the intensity and the complexity of Scorpio season. So some of the heaviness and the intense emotions that Scorpio energy can bring up, Sagittarius says, okay, I was in it. I was feeling it. It brought me to my knees. It was some of the lowest and most intense raw emotion I could experience. But now I got to climb out of that. So that's what that energy is good for on its own. So maybe we can take some of that here as we move into Sagittarius season and say, what can I take away from this? Sagittarius wants to find the bigger picture, the ultimate truth. So that might be something that many of us are searching for during Sagittarius season is, where does the truth lie? And that's a complicated question, actually, because in the mutable sign of Sagittarius, there are multiple versions of the truth, but we are looking for the one. A lot of times that's the quest, the holy grail, trying to find the truth that works for us. And that's the important thing to understand and remember through the lens of astrology, is that your truth is your truth. It is not everyone else's truth. And so when we're thinking about what the absolute truth is, it doesn't really exist. There may be one truth, but we all are having a limited human experience, and our versions of what that might look like are going to differ person to person, which is why we get things like religious wars, for example, different ideologies and clashes of ideology. So anyways, looking for the truth, looking for the higher meaning. How do we make sense of it all? How do we make sense of the tragedies and hardships of human experience? It seems to be kind of part of the deal here. And all of that can be filed under Scorpio. But Sagittarius is the sign that takes a step away, takes a step above, wants to try to find a higher vantage point. What's the meaning of it all? And maybe that's the best way for us to cope. Maybe that's the best way for us to make sense of our existence in a world that feels so broken. So that is my intention and sort of provocative prompt for you, is to try to find, how do we make sense? Can we make sense of it all? How do we find a way to make sense of the intensities that we experience in the human condition? So that's a little bit of what might be on our minds and in the backdrop for Sagittarius season 2023. Some of the things that we have to look forward to here are Mars is going to enter Sagittarius. We'll be talking about that in a separate video. And we've got a Mercury retrograde that's going to begin. So we'll see Mercury move from Sagittarius into Capricorn and station retrograde. We've also got a Neptune station to talk about. So those are all things that you can look forward to as we explore and get deeper into Sagittarius season. But for right now, that is your Sagittarius season 2023 astrology shot of the day, and I'll catch you next time. Bye. Thanks so much for tuning in with me today. For a deeper look at how the planets are lighting up your life, you can book your next astrology reading with me, and we'll take a deeper look at your progressions, your profections, your solar returns, so that you can go forward with a greater deal of confidence and preparedness about what lies ahead. I look forward to connecting with you, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.